Listen here to how Gerry uses manipulative language to create the correlation that anyone on the island of Ireland questioning the current mass influx of immigrants and the dramatic, rapidly changing demographic is racist. And if you point out that adding more people to public services that are already barely functioning will put them under even more pressure, then you are dumb and being manipulated by the far right, because immigrants are not the problem. No one said they were, Gerry. It's the people, particularly the politicians, bowing down to globalist UN replacement migration policies that are the problem. Immigrants, well, they're the pawns.
We all have to have a very assertive opposition to the far right or to the right generally, but against racism. I mean, let's call it for what it is. That's what it is. So it's against that.
The far right or right in general. So anyone who doesn't agree with globalist woke politics and its associated policies. Gerry is labelling it far right to question immigration policy, oppose open borders, or disagree with any aspect of progressive politics. Are we not supposed to be a democracy? Because if so, these are legitimate political views. Dismissing them with labels is an overt attempt to shut down debate instead of addressing people's concerns. Smells a lot like 1984 style authoritarian mentality, except the approved viewpoint or be labelled and dismissed.
At a certain intellectual level, it is understandable that if you are poor, if your children don't have a home, if you have sons and daughters living in the box room, if they don't have a job, if they have very little prospects, and we're mostly white. First black man that I saw was a British soldier. Most people are decent and most people are sound, but if you're on the receiving end of the inequality, then it's easy for others to wind you up. That the reason you have no home, the reason you don't have enough houses is because these other people are taking them. The reason why you can't have a better quality of life is because these other people are availing of all the benefits. And that is not the case.
At a certain intellectual level, how condescending. We all know what you mean, Gerry. Just come out and say it. If someone disagrees with you, they're either a racist, far right, or a dum-dum not intelligent enough to understand. That is the oldest trick in the book. Don't answer the argument, attack the person making it.
Anybody that I have spoken to now, I know the dyed-in-the-wool racists, and it's interesting the alliance is made between loyalists and some folks in Dublin lives out here in this city carrying the tricolour and carrying a Union Jack. It's an unholy alliance.
Alliances made between loyalists and some folks in Dublin. Catholics and Protestants getting together is an unholy alliance. I'd say it's a dangerous alliance, especially if both sides of the alliance know exactly who the enemy is, if they focus on the puppet masters and the puppets carrying out the agenda, not the pawns.
What we need to do is to be very, 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 very assertive that we're all human beings, that we all have rights, and that our rights need to be upheld.
There's no general human right to immigrate to any country of your choice. There is, or should be, a sovereign right to control borders and decide who may enter, live, or work there. The right to seek asylum doesn't automatically give you a right to settle in any country that you choose to. And many do choose. They move through multiple safe countries to get to their chosen destination. People are waking up fast to what's going on. The focus is on saving the economy, and if you have to sell out the people who live here to do it, so be it. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation. If you bring in immigrants from countries with a much lower standard of living, it prevents the further need to increase wages. We know that inflation will continue. Our own people will get increasingly poorer as wages don't match the cost of living. If you increase wages, it allows people to pay more, and that keeps the inflation cycle going. To promote this is to be a patriot to the economy at the expense of the people.